Oh, hello. Thanks so much for joining me after class. Please, have a seat. Let's you and I have a down-to-earth talk about Magic the Gathering. It's more difficult than you expected, isn't it? Getting better at this game. You've read some articles, listened to a couple podcasts, you go down to Friday Night Magic and pre-release, and yet you just aren't breaking through. It's okay. I'm going to help you get there. Magic the Gathering isn't just a game. It's a hobby, a sport, a complete lifestyle. You can't just read technical guides and listen to a podcast and instantly become a better player. You have to upgrade your mentality as well. Presented here are 5 pieces of advice to help any new player upgrade their skills through mental exercise and perspective. If you'd like more technical and strategy-based advice, be sure to check out my Tolarian Tutor series, where I go over just that. But here, we're talking about the mental magic game. So let's dive right in with number 1. Play as much as you can. As Jake the dog says, dude, sucking at something is the first step towards being sort of good at something. Now, I have no idea who the hell that is, and frankly, I do not wish to know. But that, I'm gonna say, rap artist? Wrestling star makes a very good point. You need to play as much as you can, and more than studying strategy guides and technical tips, this will help you improve at the game through simply making you a part of the game. You will absolutely never master something unless you do it, and you need to do it a lot. Not just once a week at Friday Night Magic or once a set during pre-release. A great way to do this, regardless of access to other friends who play or a game store, is with best of 1 games of both Standard and Draft on Arena. Why? Because sideboarding can be daunting for someone just getting into the game. And it's far too easy for the veteran player to use sideboarding to steamroll you as you're getting started. By grinding out best of 1 matches, you'll be able to play a lot, see games in isolation of sideboards, and start to learn the very rhythms and patterns of play that goes into Magic the Gathering. Every win and every loss gets you closer to your goal. Define what that is. Do you want to be your F&M end boss? Do you want to spike a GP and make it to a pro tour? Why are you playing Magic? Just to have fun? Does winning excite you? If all you are after is a good win rate, that's dangerous. You cannot win every game, and the high of winning can be powerfully overshadowed from the lows of losing. If what you need to be happy is winning constantly, then that's just not going to be sustainable. Also, know that you are going to lose a lot before your win rate becomes something close to stellar. Don't compare your journey to others. Everyone has their hot streaks and low streaks. Even LSV, one of the GOATs, had a period where he didn't consistently day 2 GPs. Diving in also means going to the library. That's right, books. The lifelong friends of us nerds are another thing we need to dive into. Or, in the case of Magic the Gathering, content in all its audio and video forms. Consume content. Consume as much content as possible. Read articles, watch YouTube, and also listen to podcasts. Podcasts are fantastic, and 2 of the biggest and best for you at this stage would be Limited Resources and the Lords of Limited podcasts. These are must-listens. For example, the Lords of Limited hosts are playing 40-plus hours of Draft a week. Their Discord is full of people who are trying to break the current Draft format and posting what went right and wrong in drafts. You can ask for deck advice. The community there is hungry to win. Limited Resources is possibly the best there is, and I've talked about it at length in other videos, and I'll say it again here. Put it on during your jog. Play it while you take your morning coffee or drive into work. Listen and learn. The show covers high-level topics, and Marshall's enthusiasm is infectious. But don't just listen to podcasts, don't just watch YouTube, also watch streams on Twitch. Interact with the streamer and ask them about their plays. Remember that streamers are there to entertain and to win, so most times they aren't playing perfect games of Magic. But their mistakes are learning opportunities for you too. Ask why they make certain plays if you don't understand them. This helps you and the streamer. Ask for help and feedback. Look, you can only get so far alone. Yes, one of the best things you can do is play constantly, learn through doing, go hit up every store event you can, grind out the best of 1 matches, upgrade eventually to best of 3, play, and get better as you do, but at a certain point, you're going to hit a wall. You need outside perspective. You need outside help. This is why playing regularly at your local games store is better in so many ways, because it introduces you to many Magic the Gathering players who, even if you do not form friendships, you can still talk to about the game and about your own strengths and weaknesses. After you get a game with someone, especially someone you feel is a better or at least equal skill level to your own, ask them what you may have done wrong during the game. This can be tough. It's hard to admit you are wrong or not as good as you want to be. But once you identify what you are doing wrong, you can take steps to fix it. Perhaps you play incredibly fast sometimes, not thinking through crucial lines when you need to. This can actually develop a side effect of grinding out endless arena games, because you're playing so much that you kind of go on autopilot. But another player might be better at pointing this out to you, and then you'll be able to understand the mistakes you may be making in a game. If you just play with a friend at your house, can you record your games and then review them? Watching yourself play is incredibly helpful, and it allows both you and your friend to point to play mistakes you might be making, or simply see better lines of play. And this is why you can only get so far on Arena and Magic Online. You need other players to learn from, to get better. You need Magic, but more than anything, you need the Gathering. A, always B, R, reflecting. Always be reflecting. At the end of each game, ask yourself, why did I win or why did I lose? Are you playing too slow? Try to plan out your turns ahead of time while your opponent is taking their turn. Think ahead about what you are going to do next. Now, that plan might change, but get a basic outline. A lot of newer players go to time at Friday Night Magic and pre-release. This could help you shave off precious minutes. Know what your deck is supposed to do and carry out that plan to a win. Now, this is something we covered often on Tolarian Tutor. After you know what your deck is supposed to do to get a win, try to get a basic understanding of what your opponent's deck is trying to do. While sticking to your game plan, can you also thwart their plans? But most importantly, you need to understand that there are some games you just can't win. Accept this. You only have control over so much. Some players get incredibly frustrated at times because of something such as getting flooded or mana deprived, but this is part of the game. Variance is your friend as a beginner, and as a seasoned player, it can be your friend too. If you want a pure skill game, hey, go play chess. But if you want a game where even a beginner has a chance against a high-level pro, play Magic the Gathering. Now, I play Magic constantly because of my job. This episode's professional consultant, the streamer and pro player Jamie Topples, says she plays Magic a minimum of 45 hours per week, and that's far from uncommon, so suffice it to say, people can get pretty caught up in playing Magic. Now, they say those that cannot do, teach, but when I play to win. I really do. But remember, winning may be cool and all, but if you are feeling like throwing something when you lose or yelling at your opponent, you might need to walk away for a bit. A few critical points to discuss when it comes to true success and growth at this game are: being salty never leads to growth. Salt is a sign of frustration. Look, people have different tiers, and you can get stuck on one. It means that you want to get better, but goodness, do not just rest there. If you aren't having fun, take a break. And if you come back and still aren't having fun, I would bet you are focusing on the wrong things. Focus on the things you can control. Don't compare yourself to other people. In Magic, as well as in life, everyone is on their own journey. Comparing yourself to someone else is the fastest route to feeling inadequate. Your journey in Magic the Gathering is long, and the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself. Here's some tips for comparing yourself to your past self. Use a tracker for Arena, like 17 lands or Untapped GG to collect stats. Remember that progress isn't a straight line. Some formats just won't jive for you as much. You might not be focused some days or weeks in a certain season in your life. Whatever the case may be, you aren't going to get incrementally better every single day. Putting that kind of pressure on yourself to improve every single day is daunting. You will have ebbs and flows, good days and bad. And a big part of the game and learning how to be a better player is how to ride these ebbs and flows without getting emotionally attached and disenfranchised. And remember, it is okay if you don't have hours and hours to dedicate to Magic the Gathering every single week. This is a journey. Give yourself permission to make mistakes. There are lessons in losing if you know how to find them. Special thanks to this video's professional consultant, Jamie Topples. Jamie is streaming, well, all the time, pretty much every day. I cannot recommend Jamie's streams enough as a learning tool and as a streamer and Magic player who is available to interact with and talk with and work with you on getting better. Links to Jamie's stream can be found in this video's description.
The mists and shadows on your side, your opponents will be swinging at nothing but air, trying to pin down the #1 Dimir assassin. So step forward and place Etrata in the command zone, ensuring your opponents are nothing but a liability as she works her way through her list. The Silencer is a 3/5 unblockable vampire assassin for 2, a blue and a black, and whenever she deals combat damage to a player, we can exile a creature that player controls with a hit counter on it. If that player ever controls 3 cards in exile with hit counters, they lose the game. Etrata is very powerful, but she does have a downside. She also must shuffle back into the deck after she hits, and while we can always return her to the command zone, that'll increase her commander tax. We'll need to use blink and bounce effects to keep her out of the command zone and in the fight.